Yeah, so hi everyone. Very good morning, and thank you all for joining in on Saturday morning. So we will be starting off with this event, and I wanted to welcome Utsav Chakrabarti, who is our guest for today's event. And Utsav will be walking you through the masterclass topic that we have as decoding the AI powering the uh, e-commerce giants that is out there in the market today. So Utsav is an alum of XLRI, and Utsav has has a total experience of about 14 years working in the data science and analytics domain. Recently, he has been working with Flipkart for about 3 years as a senior consultant and senior analytics manager. Sorry for that. And he will be walking us all through the session. So yeah, super thrilled to have you over here with us, Utsav, today, and we can begin with the session.
Hey, hi, I got it. Thanks,
Yeah.
Rashmi, for introduction. Yeah, quickly, just to get started in terms of what he said, very welcome to the session. What we are going to discuss in the next couple of hours would be understanding how e-commerce in general works, how different AI, analytics, data science use cases work, how the team overall, the analytics team functions with the business. And then subsequently, we will talk about how some of the innovative applications that we can see, and we'll give some of the demo from Amazon, Flipkart, Misho, all the different common, e-commerce platforms are there, how they are using the AI to increase their overall revenue and their bottom lines as well. Okay, so let's get started. I'll share my screen once, 1 minute. Yeah, are we, is this visible all? Is the screen visible, everybody? Yeah. Okay, cool. So Rashmi, I'm just trying to figure out because I'm not seeing the.
Yes, so your screen is visible. You can see the responses from the chats. People would be giving you a yes
Yeah,
or
yeah. So I'm
or
just
would be
trying because
participating
it's
over chat for
moving
everyone.
very fast. So yeah. Okay. So just to start off, then subsequently, what this is basically, I've been part of leading the overall two teams, three teams. One is the customer marketing analytics, customer growth and marketing analytics. As part of that, we had done several kinds of data products for Flipkart, and also the product analytics of a new age platform called Shopsy, which is a hyper value platform in India. We'll talk about overall the e-commerce industry and the recent trends. So just to start off with in e-commerce industry, it all started with 2007 when Sachin and Binny Bansal, after leaving their Amazon job, came back to India and set up Flipkart. And then subsequently in around 2014 is when Amazon has entered Indian market. And since then, e-commerce had been very, very hot, or an upcoming, a very growing industry overall in India. So there are three major players right now: Amazon, Flipkart, Misho. There are players like Nykaa and Myntra, which also are there. And I'll talk about the overall positioning of the different players, how they play roles in each of the different audiences or demographic overall. So just to give some high level numbers, if you see overall the retail market, when we talk about the retail market, it basically means everything that you buy, right? Overall retail market in India in 2022 was 947 billion US dollar, and it is supposed to grow in the next 4 years 10%. With whereas if you look at the online retail market, which was around 63 billion in 2022, that is supposed to grow to around a 250% increase and will go to a 163 billion. So just see the slope of the curve, that while the retail market is supposed to grow only around 10%, in the same time, the e-commerce will grow by 250%. And this is not a data that I'm just showing. This is one of the India's topmost industry, surveyors, Redseer, which basically presents this data. So you can blindly believe roughly how the market will look like. The other key trends when we look at the e-commerce market is something what I have also tried to say is online penetration. And here there is some context that you might feel very important. So as an Indian, right, why, if I ask you, all of you, which kind of categories do you spend most on? Any idea what would be your answer? Where is the most of your spending? Where does it go to? Any answers? Electronics, clothes, electronics. While none of you are really correct, so it is not really about overall e-commerce that I'm saying. It is overall retail. If you see the biggest spend that happens, someone has started, Omkar has been very good. The biggest spend has started in terms of grocery and food, right? That is where everybody, as an average household, 75% of our income gets spent in grocery and household, anywhere, right? Because without that, nothing will happen. And if you think about it, grocery or food, where we mostly spend on, look at where exactly the e-commerce penetration now stands, right? So our 75% of what we spend, our e-com penetration is right now only 1% of that market. Yeah. So if as an Indian, we spend 75 rupees on grocery, out of that only 1 rupee we spend on e-commerce platform. This is the opportunity. And if you think about, this is where the Walmart of the world and Amazon of the world do, and big baskets, and whether you think about Blinkit, everybody recognizes the opportunity that as a platform, if we have to build habit, right? If we have to build habit, grocery needs to be cracked. Okay. However, there is a problem, and we'll come to that. The problem is grocery as a market is a very low margin business. Point number one, there is very low margin. The point number two is the e-commerce proposition in grocery is convenience. It's not value really, because value in grocery is very difficult to give because the margins are very thin. The proposition of e-commerce is convenience, which is someone is mentioning 10 minutes delivery, 15 minutes delivery. But as an online player, it is very difficult to compete with the brick and mortar, your roadside grocery store, in terms of creating that entire infrastructure where we can really promise 10-15 minutes delivery. Yeah. So just to say that this is a business model which is something that e-commerce players haven't been able to really crack. However, this business model needs to be cracked for an e-commerce boom to really happen. So nobody in India and mostly across outside, if you three, even Walmart, all 75% of their revenue comes from grocery. So if you have to think about that, grocery is very critical. However, there are certain categories where the penetrations are very high. For an example, if you look at mobile electronics kind of a category, there, if you see 50-60% of the already average Indian spend is happening in e-commerce. So this is a category which is a very high value category where there is a very good margin, and this has been fairly well cracked. However, there are problems with this. The industry also faces headwinds from the D2C brand, right? So for an example, you will see there is a Realme store, there is a Boat store. All these brands, they don't want to over rely on Amazon, Flipkart's overall, and they are starting with their own D2C overall here as well. So mobile electronics is a category which we have been, e-commerce is doing relatively well. Then comes the fashion, which is the biggest fashion, beauty, personal care. This is the second biggest after the grocery, food and grocery. This is the second biggest market. And this is an extremely competitive market, because if you think about it, this is a market where people are looking for a bargain deal. You know? So you can think about, and this is also very high frequency deal. High frequency means you would not probably repeat your t-shirt beyond 6 months, 3 months. You will keep on changing. So people look for a cheaper, however, reliable products, and they want a very trendy products. Yeah, cheaper but trendy is the average mentality of people in India while buying fashion, beauty, etc. Beauty has a slightly more nuance for an affluent customer. We'll come to that. Now, coming to this overall scenario, so this is where e-commerce competition is very high. This is where offline competition is very high. So this is where the offline stores are doing very well. This is where e-commerce is having e-commerce competitions is very high. And this is relatively well divided between Amazon and Flipkart. Flipkart slightly better than Amazon in terms of mobile electronics overall. Now, where I wanted to start, so while these market trends are fairly there, one of the things that you would also like to ask, and as in before I came to e-commerce, I always used to think about is, does India have a play for all the different kinds of players or the kind of competition? Is it a winner take all kind of a market, or there are different platforms that can coexist to make the e-commerce thrive? Yeah. And there, if you look at the strategies that has so far been happening, if you just to tell you, so there are in India, there is this upper class, or what we say as an high income group. So this is basically your high income group, or HIG, where I'm typically referring to anybody who has a roughly greater than 1 lakh or more than average monthly income. Yeah. So that's your upper income group. Then comes the middle class income group. Now, when I'm talking about middle class, this is basically have an average income of anywhere between 40,000 to 90,000. That's what typically a middle class. And then there is a slightly non-affluent users who have a monthly income less than 30,000. Yeah. Let's keep this three cohorts in terms of understanding the overall Indian market. Now, when we are saying upper, middle, and lower, I'll answer the ONDC part. So upper, middle, and lower, the upper class typically prefer branded products. This is where Amazon kind of thrives. So all of us who are probably on call today, majority of your inline purchase would be having from Amazon, right? The reason is they focus more on upper middle class or metro tier 1 cities. That's where the Amazon kind of puts in. The second, but if Amazon is focusing on this cohort, it has a limit, right? In India, as the rich poor divide goes upwards, this segment does not have a scale. They have a higher purchasing power, but after some time, once the saturation happens, this segment is unlikely to grow. And that's the reason, if you read articles, Amazon in India is facing headwinds in terms of growing. Now, the second part, second part, which is coming to overall middle class income group, which is the Flipkart overall. Now, in Flipkart, the goal over here is giving unbranded product. Yeah. So our platform was more pivoted to, while we do sell iPhones, keep the mobile and large part outside. But if I do sell unbranded stuffs, that's where the typical Flipkart play comes in, right? Flipkart is more trying to or known as a cheaper products or a great value for money products. That's where Flipkart is positioned at. And the growing segment is this mid class. However, there is a little bit of fight now growing in. People believe that with the digital education, everybody now having the mobile everywhere, the lower populations, which we were saying 25, 30,000 lesser, typically the college going students and the tier 3 kind of a town, there exactly comes the player which is known as Misho, right? Now, Misho has kind of disrupted the Indian market, because just when these two players thought that there is no merit in going to lower income group, Misho said there is still merit in terms of going into lower income group, and they can adopt e-commerce if we are able to provide great value. Now, apart from that, there are some players which I have not mentioned. Myntra is basically positioned to operate in this segment, where, because Flipkart is more about unbranded fashion and branded mobile electronics, Myntra plays the branded fashion category. Where is exactly Ajio placed? Someone asked me. Ajio will come into this category, which is your middle class audience, but slightly upper middle class, because Ajio sells mostly branded product. And when I'm saying branded versus unbranded, you can make a comparison that branded is something like you can see Peter England kind of a t-shirt, or whereas unbranded will be something like canvas shoes, right? Or typically the products which you can find in local markets. That's what the unbranded part. So that's where exactly the high income, mid income, low income comes. Now, with this, I'm also saying the value proposition that the different players offer. So Amazon value proposition, because it caters to upper middle class and upper class, the biggest value proposition that Amazon offer is the deliveries, right? Delivery speed. These guys, they don't offer about money, right? They are more about how quickly I can get. So Amazon really excels in the speed delivery, customer service. This is where Amazon excels in. Flipkart, on the other hand, are more catering to the value conscious people. So it's a lot more pivoted towards value. And Misho, obviously, because it is catering to more value conscious people, it is basically a hyper value platform. So that's how the overall e-commerce industry in terms of India positioned. The other players which you guys are saying, Shopcluse and smaller brands, Snapdeal, whatever those you guys are writing, those are very, very yeah. Someone basically said unbranded is more Sarojini market in Delhi. That's a very good example. Thank you for that. That's coming to the point. The other players in e-commerce right now are fairly small and hasn't really scaled. So coming back to the point, the biggest headwind, and when I say headwind, it is basically the biggest blocker. The biggest blocker that Indian e-commerce industry today fails is that on one side, inflation has gone up. The income hasn't gone up that proportionally. Specifically, the lower and middle income group has a lower discretionary income. For an example, 1 year back, the kind of income that I could have spent to buy things, just because of inflation, I have now actual effective money on hand is lesser. So on one side, consumer are asking for more and more value, but on other side, supply costs have gone up, which means the input cost have gone up. The cost of production, everything has gone up for sellers. So the margin that you can make, right? You have to reduce the supply cost to pass on the benefits to consumer. That is not happening. So you on one side, input cost or product costs have gone up. Input material, raw material costs have gone up. On the other side, people's income hasn't gone up so much, so they have lesser money to spend. How do I balance on both of these is where exactly the e-commerce growth in the current market scenario is standing. And that's where a lot of players do believe that if Indian e-commerce has to boom, it has to really do big time on food and grocery and unbranded fashion. Okay. Now coming to the next slide, where is coming to when you were, let's say now, forgetting about the market trends, if we now try to understand what are the different business functions that you need to set up. Let's say you are a founder, you want to get to a e-commerce companies and set up an e-commerce companies, what are some of the business functions that you think are required in an e-commerce company? Can you folks kind of respond in the chat box? What are some of the e-commerce business functions? What do we need to put together e-commerce business functions? Yeah, what business functions, what teams you need to put together? Okay, yeah, I was wrong in terms of showing up the first thing, but yeah, okay. Marketing, supply chain management, advertisement, okay. Customer acquisition, yeah, advertisement. Okay, so let's see in terms of customer care, fairly right, but there are 2-3 other teams, major teams, which we are missing. The first thing is the marketing. So when you are starting a company, let's say you have built some app or everything, how do you know the consumers? So how do you let people know that of your platform? And that's where the this part eventually comes in. But is basically, sorry, 1 second, I'm not able to get the annotation there. I don't know why this is coming, but okay. So what I was saying is, let's say the marketing is the primary function. There are 2 kinds of marketing that happens. One is called as an above the line. Above the line marketing is typically your TV ads or newspaper ads. Now, why are they called above the line? Because these are not targeted, and this is to everybody. Whoever watches TV, they will be able to see the ads. Or whoever watches the Hotstar, not keep the Hotstar, whoever watches the Saas Bahu serials, they will get the ad. So this is to create awareness and create buzz. The goal is, someone said about customer acquisition, the goal is user and customer acquisition, as rightly said. So that's the first step. But this is very costly, right? Typically, TV ads are very, very costly. So once you have spent a lot of amount of money in getting the users, your focus has to be in making those users and customers visit once again, so that they keep visiting and keep buying. And the marketing that is required in order to do that is known as a BTL, or below the line marketing. And what is the difference in below the line marketing? It is basically known as very targeted marketing. Targeted marketing means, let's say people who came back last 15 days and in the last 15 days they have not visited, but earlier has expressed interest in buying t-shirt, we will target these people through digital marketing in getting them back on the platform. And what are these campaigns typically called? They are called as a performance marketing campaign, retargeting campaign. For an example, you go to Times of India, you will see that there is a particular ad of a e-commerce website. You go to some other blogs, you will see that there are ads. So these are, you go to SEO or typical SEO, SEM, that is also another kind of an ad. So the entire idea is the digital audience who have already got used to buying or coming to e-commerce platform, can I maintain their top of mind? And that's where the digital marketing effort goes in. So as the platform matures, like Amazon and Flipkart matured platform, they will need to spend more on BTL than on ATL. So except the BBD or Great Indian Festival, you don't see too many Flipkart, Amazon ads. Misho is still running ads in certain cases, but they have to also tighten the pass. Now, second thing in setting an e-commerce company is selection. Selection means what to sell. Okay, I got the users, but if I don't have product, how will I do? Now, this is a very important thing for a platform like us, because think about people who are super rich, they have a brand affinity. They know what to buy, that they know, very clear about it. But for us, or for a T2, T3 kind of an audience, when I say T2, T3, it is the tier 2, tier 3 audience, the people in the remotest towns and villages of India. The biggest thing they look up to e-commerce is variety, right? And freshness. Freshness essentially means trendy things and variety of things. Now, that is something that a team in e-commerce needs to be dedicated towards, who will decide for each categories what products needs to be put on listing, what sellers will give, which sellers will give these products, and should we create exclusive selection, how soon or what kind of a new selection should we be being. And then finally, if products that we have, but products that Misho has or Amazon has, if Flipkart does not have, that will have a negative impact. People will say, hey, Flipkart mein saman nahi bikta hai. So those kind of things that people don't develop that perception, we have to be top on this game in terms of bringing more and more selection. Then comes pricing. Pricing is very important because in India, everybody, the majority audience are very value conscious. Now in pricing, we will talk about something like dynamic pricing strategies, etc., or a personalized pricing. But in eventually what this basically means is, in India, right now, e-commerce value proposition is, it has to be cheaper than other platform. If it is also cheaper than offline markets, we are great, right? So it has to be cheaper than competition and it has to be cheaper than offline. Now, what does this mean? So if I have to, as a platform, if I have to give it cheaper, I will have to source it cheaper. Now, how do I strike a deal with seller? I will strike a deal with seller that, hey, by giving to offline or by giving to other platform, you will get only this many customers or this many volume of units. By giving to us, we will give you this huge volume, because that's the only promise that we can give. So there are nuances in terms of that. And secondly, this competition, what price competition is selling, this is a huge area in e-commerce industry known as a crawling or competitive intelligence. That means there are separate AI products that are being built, which every day or in fact every couple of hours will crawl, let's say Amazon website, Misho websites, Flipkart websites, and eventually will say that, hey, matching products in your competition is selling at this price. You are selling at this price, you can reduce or you can increase the prices. So that is a very important part. So what I am trying to say is pricing has to be a dedicated team when you are setting an e-commerce company. Now comes someone who have already said about supply chain, and supply chain has two main idea. One is what should be the hub and spoke model architecture is. Hub and spoke model is, you have a big warehouse somewhere. Then from those big warehouses, you will have smaller hubs. And from those smaller hub, you will have a smaller delivery center. So it just like spreads from a central, typical like how the cycles wheels are there, right? Typically that is called as an hub and spoke model. So how is the network architecture going to be in order to cater to the demand? That is one problem statement that supply chain does. It is a fixed cost investment typically. Most of for Flipkart, Amazon, this is a fixed cost. For a Misho, they would typically don't have a separate supply chain wing. They would essentially rely on delivery kind of a model. So a third-party supply chain provider. For us, probably we do have separate supply chain network. So supply chain network is one. The second is every supply chain will require then the manpower, right? The delivery executives, the overall transport executive, the overall within the warehouse, people keeping the products in right places, etc., right? Packing and everything. So how is that manpower required? This entire planning, and this is a very significant cost of any e-commerce business model, is the supply chain cost. And then there is obviously another person has already talked about the customer care. Yes, we do have customer experience teams, and customer experience teams are typically handles the customer escalations, ease the process of return refund, and also if customers are trying to do any fraud or there is a seller fraud, we try to handle that part of these things. Then finally, after all of these things, product should ideally come early. But a big part of today's discussion that we will cover on is how exactly the product built. Product means, So just to give you an analogy, when you as an individual going to an offline store, you will have salesperson recommending, you will be able to see what is there on the shelf, right? The shelving, the arrangement of products, and the salesperson connects, everything is there. Now in e-commerce industry, that is what exactly, when you go to an app, you do a searching for a product, or you go to homepage, you look for a product. How do I be how does the technology, or how will AI play the role of an virtual salesman, is the way how product has to pivot. So product's main objective is, how can I be a virtual salesman better? That's how the product initiatives will be pivoted to a large extent. And we'll see that in today's class. Then finally, as someone is saying that, Utsav, how does then e-commerce is making money? Because if you think there is everything that so far you have told is a largely investment, marketing requires investment, say pricing required investments. A lot of time we don't get it cheap, but we have to give customers cheap. So we will end up burning money, right? You will see a lot of startups are burning money. This is basically from our pocket, we will burn money. Then you have a supply chain cost. Then you have a customer experience cost. Then you have a product team cost. Where is exactly the real great money-making opportunity? The great money-making opportunity is that there are two pivots. One is, there is an hope that when the e-commerce matures, a large part of audience will build a habit of buying only in e-commerce, and then the pricing war will reduce. Something like, if you think of how Jio transformed the overall telecom industry. Similarly, e-commerce is a very high barrier to entry industry. So just like you can think about Jio initially gave it very cheap and then started to recover money. Similar hope is that after the people start building habits, that they will get lazy, they will not go to offline stores. Then the money-making opportunity, we don't have to get into the pricing war, because the industry is going to normalize. So that's when we will start making money. Most of the e-commerce firms in India does not make money in this part, right? I mean, and even in overall as well, nobody is making really money. The other big opportunity is that monetization, right? And monetization is showing ads on your platform. So you will see in Amazon, they will show sponsored ads. They will, in Flipkart also, they will show sponsored ads. That means you are making sellers pay to give ads on our platform, so that the sellers are able to sell their products. So this is typically how a better money-making opportunity for e-commerce companies are there. For Amazon e-commerce, this is almost 35, if I'm not wrong, globally, not in India, but almost 30% of their profitability comes from this ads business that they have. Now coming to everything is fine. Where is analytics and data science placed at? Now analytics and data science, just as you expected, is an horizontal. So in our organization, we have a central analytics team that kind of functions with all of these business functions separately. So there is a separate marketing analytics team, marketing analytics and data products team. There is a separate selection analytics and data products. There are separate pricing analytics and data products, supply chain analytics, and so on and so forth. So this is how the overall team is structured. Now, because the team is structured this way, you will have to know business. Otherwise, if you just know the fancy algorithm, fancy statistics, you are of no use. Because e-commerce companies' main funda is, how can we run business efficiently? Your model is of, if you are coming up with a state-of-the-art model, which is not helping any of these teams, is an useless model. So that's how exactly the overall teams are functioned or organized over. Now, we'll pause and see what questions folks has. Yeah, blockchain for supply chain. Yeah, I mean, we are way behind of that. We are, I think, we are already starting to get robotics in terms of place in our delivery units to get efficiency on manpower in the supply chain. Now, coming to overall e-commerce funnel. And this is a particularly important slide because if you understand this particular slide, a large part of your e-commerce understanding will be clear. So what happens is the first step is coming to the home page. We'll show that what exactly this means. So when you go to this this part or this page, this is exactly your home page overall. Now from this home page, the next step is the product page. What is a product page view? So let's say I go to this, right? I mean, let's say I click on this. Okay. This product that you see over here, this is a product page view. So everything, this is basically called as a product page. Now, what happens in product page? We'll come to that. All the product description, prices, and everything is over there. So this particular page is your product page. What is the, now look at this. You came from home page, and looking at the product closely is one big hurdle. So a lot of people who come on home page does not even land on product page. They bounce. Bounce means before going to product page, they will leave the platform. So there is a drop off that happens. A key goal for us is how do we reduce this drop off? Coming to next. After you see the product page views, the next step is going to be cart add, right? I'll present this. The next page is add to cart. And you guys already know when we click on this add to cart, it means that we have an interest. If we are added to cart, we are typically saying that it is a one step forward to the overall buying process. Once you go to the add to cart, so not everybody, so how does exactly the funnel works? It is not that if you see one product, you will put it in add to cart. You will probably see thousands of products, and then we will put on add to cart. And it is also not case that everybody will get into add to cart. Now from add to cart, then comes the next part, which is called as a checkout and payment. So for an example, if we go to here, I say proceed to buy. And when I'm saying proceed to buy, this is where exactly I select the address, whatever that I want to do, and then use this address. And then this part is known as a checkout process, correct? So this is where exactly the checkout process happens. Then you make the payment. And after you make the payment, you finally order the product. After you order, there is still a drop off that can happen. From order, people either can take the delivery or cancel it midway, or they can return the product. Three options are possible. They can accept the delivery, they can cancel the product midway before arriving, and after the product came to them, they can return it. So this is how the overall e-commerce funnel that we have looks like over here. This is how the overall e-commerce funnel looks like today. Every step, there is a drop-off. For an example, if 100 people comes on homepage, only 4 of them or 5 of them will probably end up purchasing. So as a core goal of any e-commerce company product or e-commerce company is, how can I reduce the drop-off? Because if I'm able to reduce the drop from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4 to step 5, I will get more and I will be able to increase my revenue. More people will start buying product. Now, just to say, marketing, we already discussed, lands people on app, because that's where your overall above the line and below the marketing line marketing will happen. Then this is where we will come to how exactly the discovery system works, which means after you coming to the app, do I do as a platform, Flipkart or Amazon, does it justice to make the platform relevant for you? So let's say you came for a t-shirt and you have a wallet of 500 rupees, but the products shown are all 1,500 rupees. What will it do? You will not go to any of the product page, and you will go out of the platform. So how can I make the overall product searching and product finding ways very, very relevant to your interest. This is where a big part of product initiatives go on. Then the third part is from product page, how can I make add to cart movement? The typical movement product page to add to cart will happen primarily due to value communication. Value communication means if my product is competitive, if pricing is good, and if the quality of product, which is it a 4-star product or a 4.5-star product? Is it a 3-star product? Based on that is going to be people moving from product page to add to cart. And then after add to cart, which will make people move to checkout, the add to cart to checkout is whatever your address is the product deliverable over there. So serviceability is one part. And then are people in India equipped enough to enter the right addresses? So I can tell you, this is one of the biggest problem area in an Indian audience, that when you get a new customers, people are not ready to kind of, they don't know just how to enter addresses. And then after that, payment. There is another drop off, which is payment. You will see that companies are coming up with buy now, pay later. Why is that buy now, pay later coming? Because they want to reduce this drop offs, that people are coming to add to cart, but they are checkout and then they are not paying because they don't have money. So the buy now, pay later industry, the credit card industry, the typical Amazon ICICI credit card, Flipkart Axis Bank credit card, all that you see, the typical UPI methodology, everything is to kind of improve this part of the funnel. And then you have a delivery and return. There are multiple frictions. After you make a purchase, you will go through a guilt. Did I make a wrong choice? Is this the best product? You will go back in competitor and say, are they still selling it cheap? Are these prices going up? So there is a typical buyer's remorse that is going to work on. How, as a platform, I'm going to console you that, hey, you have made a great choice. This is the product that everybody in your age group, your area is buying. This is essentially in India, 1 crore people has bought this product. Then you feel, oh, 1 crore has bought, then I might have done a great choice. So that's one part, buyer's remorse. The second part is, I said I will deliver you within 3 days. I am taking 4 days time to deliver the product. Then people will kind of return, or people will cancel the product. And then the third part is return, where the product quality is not appropriate. Then essentially people will drop off. So that's how the overall core goal of e-commerce companies that happens. I'll pause over here and I'll see questions if any folks have. Yeah. Any questions? Siddharth is saying class is a revision of MBA concepts. Yes, that's what, right? Digital e-commerce is so intuitive. That's why people from the best MBA colleges do come over here. So I'll pause over here. Any questions so far? Are you guys enjoying? Any questions? We have not got into analytics or overall here. Someone is asking, how do you deal with fake reviews? We do with fake reviews, so I don't want to jump on it. However, I'll give you one answer. So for a fake reviews, there are two options for us, or the two methodologies that we have. One is, as an user, have you really purchased from our platform this particular product? Yeah. So that's why you see there is a tag of a verified purchaser. That tag was introduced to stop fake reviews, or people overall getting more trust on that. The second part of fake reviews is, what is your trend? For an example, if you were giving fake review on only one product, or a bad review on only one product, it might not, I may not be able to catch. But let's say if you are doing it for all the 10 products that you have bought, everywhere you have given a bad review, you will get dinged. Your overall in the your priority of what is to be shown, your priority or importance will get dinged. Then the third thing you talked about fake review, that is basically that, hey, how do I really compare the overall other people's review with your review? So for an example, let's say a particular product has been bought by 10 people, 9 people has said good, 1 people has said bad, and that people has a history of saying bad. I will probably ding you. So these are different methodologies. This is a concept that we used in terms of large language models, which is very similar kind of a models that is trained on our review dataset. Having said that, just to clearly say that, any idea, guess, can you say that how many products in Flipkart or in any e-commerce product has at least one review? Anybody can say that how many products have at least, or how many percentage people give reviews, how many products have reviews? Anyone? The typical 60%, 70% is very high numbers, right? All the products that are right now I don't know, I would typically get a range, give you a range, because I don't want to be talking about my platform. But anywhere it will be across the platforms, you will see the overall number of products that has reviews is less than 20%. Definitely it is going to be less than 20%. And that's why what Amazon started to do is they started to get reviews for their US products also incorporated, right? So you will see that that's the reason they want to do that. But yeah, anyway, coming back to our presentation going forward. Now let's focus time. Now that we have understood the industry, we have understood the e-commerce. Let me first take some time to explain the e-commerce overall discovery, and then I will talk about analytics part also. So just to say, coming once again, let me just show you some terminologies. Just wanted to introduce you to. Maybe, yeah. Whatever that you are seeing here on home page, there are two components on home page. One is known as merchandising. Okay, merchandising is typically, I'll tell you, let's say whatever you are seeing here is a merchandising. Everything that you see over here is a merchandising. All these that widgets that you are seeing, all these that you are seeing is a merchandising. Now within this merchandising, if you look at, there is one widget you might be looking for, right? And then keep shopping for, pick up where you left off, review your, this is sleep up, pick up where you left off. These are some of the things which are called as a recommendation widget. There are better recommendation widgets as well. In the home page also, there is a recommendation. These that you are seeing is a typical merchandising. And then if you were searching for, let's say, joggers for men, right? If you were searching for this is called as a search. So there are three things: search, merch, and reco. Merch is merchandising, which you see on homepage, then search, then reco. Now within this also, if you look at what has happened when I searched for joggers for men, this is essentially showing the Van Heusen plays. And what does it say? Sponsored, which means these are Van Heusen has given money to Amazon to get this place when people search for joggers for men, right? So that's why you say it's a branded, or it's an ad that the brand is running. Then you say other brands. Within that also you say sponsored. So what exactly the platform will do? Platform, so think about it. As a seller, if I'm giving ads, I want to get the return. And how is Amazon making money? By getting money from seller. So automatically there is a flywheel that will start running. And in the flywheel, what this means is Amazon giving more importance to products which have been put on ads, those products selling, those products getting ratings and reviews, and those products setting more and more. So as a platform, if you are not, or as a seller, if you are not giving ads to Amazon, you tend to lose out on the overall flywheel, and your products will go down and down, and you will not be able to sell. So that's the one thing that you are noticing here when we are looking at this. So many ad slots. Now let's go to one of these things. Whatever the search results has come. Look at, this is also called as an highlighter. This is basically quality and value choice, making people make their decisions easier, that Amazon is recommending this particular product. So people will not get diverted. So people will think, okay, if Amazon is recommending, then this might be everything is ticked off. But just for our curiosity, when we come onto this homepage, we are also seeing some other aspects, and I will come to this. So you should be seeing more items you may like in apparel. What is this? This is a recommendation once again. Then you essentially seeing products related to this item. This is what? This is also recommendation. So this is a recommendation. This is also a recommendation. This is where exactly your another recommendation is coming. And this is very important, guys, because what happens is when you give people more and more reco, typically in any e-commerce platform, 30% of their what they sold, 30 to 35% is just coming because of a recommendation. Yeah. So once you put recommendation, you will see that people typically the sell volume will grow up. This is where I was talking about the virtual sell assistant. This is where it is keeping in. So how relevant is the recommendation is the context, and there are so many models that we are talking about that. So search, merge, reco is the key finding methods that we say, or the way people find products in e-commerce platform. I'll stop it here, and I will now move on in terms of how analytics applications happen in e-commerce. Analytics and data science applications happen in e-commerce. So guys, please understand that when you go to a company, it is not ever that you will be given a data science problem. Hey, Utsav, or hey, guys, let's build a recommendation engine. Yeah. Or let's build a fraud detection engine. Let's build an forecasting engine. That's not how a problem statement will come. So where is any team company, where is the journey starts? The journey basically starts with a dashboard. And when I'm saying dashboard, in every company, they track certain L0 metrics. L0 metrics mean the metrics that are North Star. And for example, let's say for a marketing team, the North Star is monthly active user and daily active user. Yeah, the growth in monthly active user and daily active user. Just to say, user means number of people who come on platform. Let's say this metrics is slowing down. The business problem that will come to you is, hey, we are not able to grow our user base. The user growth has slowed down. What can we do? Then as an analyst, then the analytics team, if the problem statement comes to analytics team, they will now start breaking this problem into different questions or hypotheses. What are these hypotheses? And you are paid for doing this. So it's actual problems. So is the user growth slowing down in particular city, state, city tier, country, anywhere? Is there a specific geo angle? Is there a demographic angle? Is it basically a particular age bracket? Is it particular gender? Is it particular affluence cohort? Is there a particular behavioral angle? For an example, people who last month bought mobile or people who last month bought fashion, they are not coming. It could be anything. Then the third thing could be, has the marketing change? Is there any change in recent marketing strategy, right? Are we now not, our investment has gone down? Is the competition like we actually saw in our platform in 2022, early part of 2022, you can see Meesho had been very aggressively growing. Because Meesho had been very aggressively growing, we initially couldn't figure out, and later eventually figured out that the overall investment they had been doing very aggressively. So is competition eating out? Have we become costlier? Our prices have gone up, so people are not visiting us? Or is it that the people whom we acquired in last couple of months, they are of bad quality and they are not returning? There could be multiple such hypotheses. This is not an exhaustive list. This is just to tell you that e-commerce is a common sense, right? Or AI or analytics is a common sense. The statistics and the finesse of everything comes later. As an individual, if you do have a common sense to understand businesses, you will make progress in the right direction of solving a problem. Once these hypotheses you have built, then you start looking for data, right? All these are just not discussion point between me and you. For answering each of these hypotheses, now we will go back and look at the data and we will try to pinpoint the problem. Let's say the problem statement after validating is that, hey, last marketing campaign that we did, the users were of very poor quality. It came from a Google but the particular channel, and that resulted in high uninstall rate. And because those users just came for once, they are not contributing to our overall user growth. Now, if that happens, this is the problem analytics says. What is the solution to it? And when it's come to the solution part of it, then it could be a solution could be that, hey, we will not any further investment in that particular marketing campaign or that particular channel. Then there is no work for data science. But let's say we say, or the marketing says, hey, this channel is Google. They have a huge scale. It is not an option for us that we will not invest, right? We will have to keep on investing. The user quality will not probably improve. Now, can you tell me what I can do to make these users stop uninstalling? That's where exactly a data science problem can emerge. That what actions the data science problems comes to that when a user comes for the first time on the platform through a particular channel, what actions should we be doing so that he does not uninstall the app? It could be something like play a game and win a coupon. It could be something like, hey, we are giving you one product free, right? You order and build this trust. It could be something like we give you loyalty program access. What is that, right? So that identification will probably come into a data science realm of solving the problem. Similar things we can echo. So another problem, let's say people are adding to cart and they are not ordering. Similar way, we can find out, is it any particular app version? Is it particular pin code? Is there a deals or special pricing we are not giving? And we found out, and finally, there is an A/B experiment done. Let's say finally the problem is basically that, hey, because of a new vernacular language that we launched, some of the cart page info has got missed. As a result of that, people are not converting from cart to order for people belonging to that vernacular language. And then what will we do? We will probably fix it. We will do an A/B experiment to see whether the fix has gone in place. Did it a very high-end data science? No. This is simply very common sense data pool, understanding the data, understanding the business. Similarly, there could be another problem statement. Let's say our profits are decreasing. And we eventually, after building the different hypotheses, we found out that our return rates have increased in specific pin codes. And this is a real problem I have seen. So in my area somewhere, the return rates has essentially increased from a specific pin codes. What was happening in parts of Gujarat? People were essentially, there were a lot of resellers. They would essentially want to ding the e-commerce, right? What would they do is they would buy from e-commerce and they would essentially cancel it, return it. As a result of that, what has happened is that our eventually it was hampering margin of a particular category so much, because you can understand the return cost is a huge cost, right? Now, in order to do that, what is the data science that we will essentially come up with? When the transaction happen, can we predict that is this guy going to return? Is this a reseller? Is it a fraudulent behavior? We will then stop the return option from that guy itself, or we will block that particular customer itself. So these are some of the ways how the data science is actually solving the business problems. Yeah. Before we move to maybe the next time, let me see where are we in terms of the course. Yeah. Someone has asked a question, what is an A/B experiment? Very valid question. Let me spare some time in terms of what is an A/B experiment. So if you guys see, A/B experiment is in product analytics domain, it is probably the building block. Okay, let me just tell you. Let's say, just give you an example. Let's say I decide that, hey, I will, I want to remove I'm just giving an example, just take it. I want to remove, I think every people are getting to see the price upfront. And because the people are seeing price upfront, they don't look at the other information that I'm giving. What I want to do is I want to make product description visible here. and I want to take the price downwards over here. Just a simple example. My belief, the hypothesis is, if I have a great product description, people will be very much, people will be more aligned to go by the product quality or product description, how great my product is, and will focus less on pricing. So I change the order of product description and the pricing in the page. Now, how will I know that it will actually work, or whatever my hypothesis, is it actually true or not? In order to do that, we do an experiment which is known as, we create a cohort, test and control. And what is test and control? Test is basically the changed order. So a set of people will see changed order, and a set of people in the control group will see the same experience. I'll explain what do I mean by that. So control group, or a set of users, will get to see what you are right now seeing, that the price is up and description is down. And the test is price is down and description is up. So the experiment that you want to do is, does it have an importance or does it actually improve? That is going to be a set of user will see that experience, and the status quo experience will be seen by the control cohort. So you have test and control, these two cohorts of people seeing two different kinds of experience. And then you say, hey, are these test cohorts people converting better? Are their conversion better? Do they buying more? Do they buying higher product, higher priced product versus the control? Now, when you will make product, this particular feature live, if the test performs better, which means tests are buying more than the control, that means your hypothesis is true. If you think that test is performing poorly, then your hypothesis is incorrect. And in order to evaluate this overall process, there is also something which is known as a statistical significance, which means that, hey, when I'm doing this kind of an experiment, there could be some margin of error. So the test experience or the test behavior has to be marginally, significantly better or statistically better than the control cohort. So for an example, just to give you an idea, if in test 9% people are converting, and in control 8.9% people are converting, this might not be statistically significant. So we might want this difference is not really mattering much. Then maybe test, if 9% converting is the control is 7%, then maybe the difference is significant. So that's what exactly the A/B experiment. So A/B experiment, everything that you see in your e-commerce product, every day you will open Swiggy, Zomato, you will see some app experience changes, everything, right? Somebody will give cash on delivery as your default option. Sometimes you will see that EMI is your default options, and so on and so forth. You will see that these experiments are done in order to essentially try out features, whether it is working properly or for not. For an example, I'll just show something. If I don't know if I'll be able to show you, let me just show you. It's in app actually. So if you go to search for this particular product in some of your people, you will see that there is a probably EMI option which has come. You will not able to see this. You will see that 5,000 rupees per month EMI. So you have removed, instead of giving 31,000 as an option, you are basically prompting users to pay via EMI, because you believe that your conversion will improve if people pay via EMI, and so on and so forth. So in summary, the test and control is showing two different experiences to two groups and finding whether your hypothesis or whether your product feature is working or not. Okay, what else comes from this cohort? Any other question? Let me just see. Someone is saying, can you please show 7th and 8th slide? Okay. No, Six Sigma and Three Sigma is typical different concepts. We are not using this. Yeah, that's a valid question. So Shayan is asking, we are going to talk about AI or not. We'll talk about AI, don't worry. Yeah, so it's a very early audience and we'll have to introduce to them. Yeah, I'm coming to, don't worry about this. So coming to AI applications in e-commerce industry, right? I was talking about personalization or the recommendation part of it. Now, in personalization or recommendation, whether you go to Amazon or whether you go to Flipkart, the biggest part over here is relevance. So what Shayan is saying, that we are not talking about AI. We are talking about AI. Everything that we have seen, there is a take backend, right? But whenever you are starting from when you open the app to what you see, everything is tech enabled. For an example, if I open Amazon on your app, right? Let's say I'm not sure in desktop these experiences you will see, but just to give you, the homepage experience is going to be different for you and me. Why is it different? This is AI, right? The reason it is different is the app has identified from your previous purchase, from your browsing behavior, from your demographic behavior, that means which city you are from, what should I show to you so that you will buy my product? Yeah, nothing else, right? This is called as a personalization or a relevance problem. What to show in the what to show way. But even in terms of what to show, there are also nuances to this. For an example, I search for joggers for men. The product that I have got, each of you, if you search for joggers for men, may see different product. Why? Because the search ranking algorithm is also personalized. That means it will show everybody different products, because everybody is behaviorally different and demographically different. Now, I can put a lot of business lever. So this is what it is, right? Shine, if you think that it is not AI, this is AI. Now, if you want me to explain this algorithm, that how collaborative filtering is taking place, how deep learning is taking place, how content to content similarity is being used, that is out of the scope of the discussion. We are just saying the applications of AI, right? So this is one application. We will also talk about BBD applications and things like that. Okay. Then the second part overall here is look at one other thing. When you go to, I don't know if I can show this. 1 second. Yeah. Sorry. This is Flipkart Pay Later. Now, when I'm talking about Flipkart Pay Later, everybody is not overall eligible to avail this pay later. What is working for me giving this availability, or certain people have this availability of pay later? Essentially, if you default, you will essentially I will have to take the cost, right? Or as a platform, I will have to take the cost. You took the product and you did not give back. So how do I prevent that? So the entire credit modeling, so that I extend you the functionality of paying option to do EMI or option to do pay later, is an application of AI. Okay. What else? I'll show you many more examples. Let's say when you are clicking on, let's say, just to again say that, if you look at, I don't know if I can see, but let me just see if I can get that. If you see overall here, you are actually getting two options. Not this one. 1 second. Yeah. So if you see, there are actually three. This one is not, there is only one seller. I was trying to show you another seller. 1 second. The laptop. I just hope that there are two sellers actually. Again, there is only one seller, maybe joggers, track pant. Electronics में थोड़ा difficult है. 1 second. Sorry. If you look at this particular thing, before even going there, Flipkart assured. How is this Flipkart assured, by the way, is given? If I click on this Flipkart assured, you see this Flipkart assured tag that I have given. What is the job it is doing? Very similar to Amazon choice. How is this tag given? This is a prediction. This is an AI which tells that which has looked at multiple products and has found out that people who have bought this product are very unlikely to return this product because the product quality and the value for money is so high that people are not returning this product. So the logic behind giving this particular tag is which in a given particular product, which products have a very low chance of return and very high chance of customer satisfaction. That's what exactly is an application of AI. So coming back to overall say this, the personalization or relevance problem that we are saying, that is across the funnel. And when I say across the funnel, from the time you are coming to the app, what to show, from the price, I will show probably a certain customer a differential price. However, legally it is not allowed. So today Indian system does not allow that for the same product, e-commerce product, I will show you price 100 and another person price 99. I cannot offer that price, but we have we have some sort of ways or workarounds to actually handle that as well. For an example, if I give higher priority to a seller who is selling it at a higher price, I can change the price for you. So what price to show, what product to show, what payment method to show, everything is a personalization, right? So in this, the biggest benefit that AI in e-commerce is coming is that virtual sales assistant that I was talking, that is the work that the AI is playing in the overall e-commerce funnel. The overall funnel that we talked about, right? We were talking about this funnel. Every part of the funnel, how can I build in personalization so that to improve the relevance or your chance of conversion is the biggest benefit. How do we do that, by the way? Again, I'm just going back to the question that he has asked. We have every browse signal, every activity you do on e-commerce app, we have that tracked. So I know all the browsing signals you have provided to me. I have track of historically what you have purchased. I also have tracked of that whether you came from time by clicking organically came, or you came via Times of India or some other website. That I also have tracked, right? So I also have tracked that, hey, in other apps, looking at your behavior, how much of money that you will be spending on other apps. So all these together, I am going to make a better decision or better sales assistant for you, a salesperson for you in terms of building the overall personalization experience. Then the next part is the recommendation. Right? Now, recommendation and personalization are slightly different. Personalization is full funnel. Recommendation in e-commerce is specific widgets. And I was telling you guys when I was searching for joggers eventually, that the recommendations are going to typically come in 3 places in any e-commerce places. One is in the product page. If you go down, more items you may like in apparel, products related to this item. These are the 2 widgets where you will see recommendation. And it is not guaranteed to be 100% accurate. For an example, this is blue. And you see this is eventually some other different color. The design is very similar. Yeah. So similarly, you can find out, different other other applications of recommendation on the Flipkart page or home page as well. If I go down, discounts for you. Look at this. This is basically, or you may like. Look at what is it written. Similar to items you viewed, these are some of the things that you are able to see. So what are you seeing? These are some of the items, which is typically the items that based on my browsing history has been recommended by you. This is a recommendation engine. So that's the other applications of the AI in the e-commerce industry. Then we talk about the pricing part of it. Okay. Now, pricing, I was so far talking about the personalization. We're now going to talk about the dynamic pricing. Now, all of you who have been part of e-commerce, you will know what is dynamic pricing. Typically happens in the airlines industry the most, or most aggressive dynamic pricing happens in the airlines industry. Can anyone tell me what is the logic that airlines industry uses in terms of doing the dynamic pricing? What is that? It basically based on what it changes the ticket fares. Anyone who wants to talk about that? Yeah. Demand and supply. Correct. Absolutely correct. It is the supply and demand. So how exactly in e-commerce that will happen? So, and if I just go back to, for those of you who are new, just a minute. Yeah. So how exactly the supply demand curve basically looks like is, so if you think about supply and demand curve, right? Now, typically any kind of a supply demand curve, I don't know why it's exactly. Sometimes it is not letting me. Okay. Okay. So typical supply demand curve that whenever you are going to look at, it will look something like the demand curve will, I'll just draw this. This is the demand curve, and this is going to be the supply curve, right? And typically this side you will have the overall quantity of products sold, and this is going to be the pricing of the product sold. There are some nuances to it. We'll come to that. So what are we saying? The typical in any industry, the pricing should be done on the supply and demand. Now, in e-commerce, there are more nuances coming to that. Demand, when I'm saying demand, essentially this means that what is the ideal price of a product that should be, where this cross point is where is the ideal price of a overall curve should be. But there are some problems in this, some nuances to it. If I go by this demand supply curve, are we keeping money on the table? Money on the table means, let's say we are just looking the demand of product on platform. Let's say I'm just, for example, I'm just saying demand of AZ. This is basically Amazon is doing a demand pricing, dynamic pricing. We are looking at our platform's demand, and we are also looking at supply of the typical supply of our. However, what we are missing out on the overall logic is what is competition doing? If we are just focusing on our demand and our supply, we will not be able to understand what is exactly the competition is there. And this scenario might quickly change, where you will realize that the overall the competition has reduced or increased the prices and made wonders. So in this demand of AZ and demand of supply of hours, the problem actually converts for every platform is to find out the demand of the market and the supply of the market and our supply. Yeah. So I'll re-articulate the point what I'm trying to say. So let's say we are talking about selling iPhone. Now, if we are trying to sell iPhone, you know how crazy pricing in BBD that we have. So last year I bought an iPhone from Flipkart. Around 70,000 rupees iPhone 13 was getting sold at 45 rupees. Now, when this 70 rupees product was getting at a 45,000 rupees, 70,000 iPhone 13 was getting sold at 45,000. Yeah, roughly in the first half an hour, 45 minutes. Now, what is happening is, why did we, and we made it a big marketing thing that you are basically going to get the year's lowest iPhone during BBD. We ran the offer for only half an hour, 45 minutes. Yeah, that's it. What is the reason for running that? The reason for running that is people essentially came to buy iPhone. So it created an initial buzz. Now, what exactly we are doing? We actually we could burn money, right? We have put money from our pocket. But now, what is the way for people to recover that money? The expectation is people who came for iPhone, they will now essentially buy more products. So what will essentially happen? I will put some of the other electronics item prices much higher, because people will think that, hey, BBD is very exclusive, last 1 hour 45 minutes the prices will last. People will not really check in other websites what price is getting sold. So you might get the cheapest iPhone, but you might not get the other products the cheapest, right? And that's where essentially what we are trying to do, we will increase the prices in some other products from what other platforms are showing, and we will try to recover some money that we have got here. So what I'm trying to say, the demand supply curve is going to be not for my platform, but it should be based on market, it should be based on competition, and it should be based on my inventory. There is also a fourth aspect which comes in dynamic pricing, which is basically, can I able to identify this complementary product? And what do I mean by complementary product? Which means that when I'm selling iPhone, how do I essentially increase the prices? What I was saying, the iPhone cover, let's say the iPhone charger, iPhone table. Can I make those essentially complementary products priced higher, so that people, and also exclusive, so that people who bought iPhone, they don't have any idea, they will have to come from my only and will have to buy at a much higher inflated price. That is the fundamentals of dynamic pricing. So just to summarize the process of dynamic pricing, the entire mechanism is based on something that I was saying is crawling. Every company in e-commerce is doing this. And crawling is, by the way, not legal officially, because you can understand if crawling is happening, it can put load on the other application servers. So what has to be done? The proxies are used in terms of the different proxies that are used to really serve those requests. With crawling, we find out at any given point in time how much is competition selling, and what is the way how much will competition sell. I will know by the rate at which the ratings and reviews and overall the product hits that are happening. How many people are today searching to buy from Amazon iPhone? That's something that we can immediately find. Let me show you how we will find that. So what goes as an input? I'll show to the 1 second, just a minute. That is that. 1 second. Yeah. So if you go to this, let's say Google Trend. Just a minute. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Yeah. What do you see over here? This Flipkart, what exactly this basically gave? This time there is a better spike. What does this spike means? That essentially we have won the market share on iPhone. More people are buying from competition. So if I'm Amazon, I will be worried because more people are buying from Amazon, Flipkart on this particular product. So similarly, I cannot show you everything. We have a runtime way of finding, or a dynamic way of finding how a particular, I will not be able to find out every listing level or every product ID level, but at an every super category cross brand level, I will be able to get the seller level. I will be able to find out what is the current sale that the competition is having, what kind of a pricing they are right now having, what is the inventory that I have, and what kind of pricing, what is the margin that I want to earn what is the P&L that I want to maintain, and accordingly, I will price my product. This entire thing happens in a very much rule-based way, which we are saying that it is the AI application in industry, right? So you understand that overall, once you understand the logic, a large part of this pricing, automated pricing or a dynamic pricing, is a rule-based pricing. It's not really that you can do a lot of AI over here. So we talked about search, and in search also there are two applications: search ranking, what products will come first and what product will come last. And you also see the typical auto suggest feature that comes. This is also an application of language modeling, which is being done in terms of a search. And these are some of the techniques. Collaborative filtering is used for building recommendation engine. Natural language processing is used for social media mining. So when we are running BBD, what kind of reviews that are coming? Someone was also telling that how do we identify the reviews, fake reviews? That is also the second one. Image recognition, a very good example of it. I hope that I will be able to not show here. I am not sure. If you go here, today in Flipkart app, go to Flipkart app and you will be able to do, and just by clicking a picture, you can actually search the picture. Yeah. So there is an option to do a search via photograph or a search via an image. Go to that Flipkart app, all of you, if you want. And if you want to search a product by taking a photo, right, you can actually do that as well. Okay. What else? Deep learning, reinforcement learning. Okay. Now, deep learning is nothing, but it's an application of both in the natural language processing and in image recognition. Deep learning being used. But I want to spend some time in terms of reinforcement learning. I'll spend a couple of minutes in terms of clearly calling this out. What is basically the reinforcement learning? So this is very important for all of you guys to also think about it. All of you guys may have heard about how self-driving car are being done, right? If you see how self-driving car will be done, is that very simply put, there is some initial automations, and then Google will put the self-driving car on road. And then what happens is, let's say there is a pothole in the road. The self-driving car does not know what action to take, but it knows that it has to take any action from either braking, or it could be that it can go with the usual speed, or it can basically do some sort of clutch. It can basically avoid the road, and so on and so forth. Let's say it knows what are some of the actions as a car that I can take. Now, when it comes to pothole, what is basically going to happen is it has never seen a pothole. So it will randomly take one of the decisions. Okay. Now, after that decision is taken, I give it, if the decision, I also define something called as a penalty and reward. Okay. What is this penalty and reward is all about? Penalty is basically that, hey, if my car is not making an accident, if there is no damage to the car, then it's a reward, right? So let's say no accident, no damage. Okay, no damage. This is basically a reward. And this is basically a reverse of it is, let's say, a penalty. Now, what happens is if the car goes, there is a pothole, it has basically speed up, there is going to be a damage to the car, and hence there is a penalty. That information is then given to the car brain, and that information tells the car that, hey, next time when you see the pothole, you will not do this particular option. Now take remaining out of the 3 actions. And that way, eventually, after multiple iterations, you will come up to the right decision that, hey, if there is a pothole, we will need to probably brake and go slow. This decision, this is basically called as a reinforcement learning, because it is reinforcing the reward and penalty decision. And via that, we are learning the overall process. This information is actually very relevant in e-commerce. Why it is relevant in e-commerce? The relevant in e-commerce is, think about everything is an trial and error. In AI or everywhere, it's a trial and error mechanism. So when we are saying trial and error, what is that meaning is, let's say Utsav comes on the app, I show him first time, the first page that I am showing is a reco widget. Now, what happened is, I am showing the first time a recommendation widget, let's say, given some problem, some widget we show. Okay, widget 1. Let's keep it a name of widget 1. Now, what happened is Utsav didn't click. So no click happened. So what will I do? I will, next time Utsav comes on this, I will present app, I will present, let's say, widget 2. And Utsav still does not click. Then what happens next time he comes on the platform? I give present widget 3 and Utsav clicks. What is the insight that I am deriving from the overall process? That Utsav is a kind of a person who basically does not like widgets which contain widget 1 or widget 2 like widgets which have similar contents. He likes basically widget 3 kind of products. Now, next time onwards, all the what will he start seeing? He will start seeing products which are very much related to or likely to widget 3. So this particular concept is called as a reinforcement learning, reinforcing what has worked. This is also called as a multi-arm bandit problem or an explore exploit kind of a problem. So this is something that is being aggressively used in e-commerce companies in terms of doing. And then then the clustering and segmentation. This is primarily an use case of marketing use cases. When I say marketing use cases, which consumer cohorts to try out or target via the marketing campaigns, what are the behavioral attributes, what are the demographic attributes that is used in terms of doing this. So that is pretty much overall. You see, whatever we have discussed on personalized product recommendation, the slide talks about this exact same thing, that when we try to do a personalized product recommendation, there is an image matching that is happening. Essentially, there is an image matching happening. Essentially, there is a text matching that is also going to happen, which is basically whether there is a text match that is happening. There is a price matching that is going to happen. There is a product description matching which is going to happen. So when I'm recommending, it might sound out that it is very simple, but the overall recommendation process is going to be based on matching of different attributes and then giving a rank and showing the overall recommendations higher these. The overall goal is that how can we improve the conversion? And when I say conversion, it is the funnel, the number of people coming on app and to converting overall. Yeah, that is how the overall things will work. We also talked about dynamic pricing strategies. The pricing strategies we were seeing, this is the typical supply demand curve or the demand curve that is being drawn. This is the demand curve that we are seeing. There is the supply curve also over there. So we keep in mind of how the competitors are doing and how our supplies are, how market supplies are. And based on that, we will find out what is the efficient frontier of the pricing strategies. That is what the dynamic pricing. Search and image recognition, very well known. This data is also showing you how exactly Amazon has started with Amazon Lens. Now, Amazon Lens is nothing but showing the same kind of things of what I showed about the image search. So this is an application of product recommendation. You remember in Myntra, you will find out a size recommendation. When you are buying fashion products, you will buy a size recommendation. That's also an application of AI. So yeah, that's pretty much in terms of what we wanted to discuss in today's class. Any questions before we get into the details, before we go to quiz and things like that? Let me just see the questions that you guys may be having. Okay.
Hey, hi, Utsav. So over here, like we'll be skipping on the quiz part today, as intimated in the beginning of the session, that today we will be giving out the vouchers basis the participation over chat or participation in the overall event. So basis that we'll be picking up top 3 people who have shown good engagement, who have answered to the questions, who have raised valid questions. We will be rewarding those people in the end of the event, and to those students, like, will be personally rewarding. So
Okay.
right now, Narendra has shared a feedback form. So we really value your feedback about how the session was, and we try incorporating those in like events going ahead.
Got it. Yeah.
So
So someone has asked also,
mhm.
is image recognition comes under computer vision? Image recognition does come under computer vision. We use the CNN kind of models, which is the typical models. Also, there are a lot of transformer models in terms of transfer learning models which are there. So yes, short answer is it comes under computer vision. Someone has also asked, is there any relevant course AlmaBetter have regarding today's topic?
Yes,
Rashmi, you want to?
absolutely. So, Utsa, what I want to do right now is that I'll be doing a short walkthrough on the course that we are offering over here.
Sure, please go
I'll
ahead.
be sharing my screen, and after that, we will be opening up
Sure.
for a Q&A for 10-15
Sure.
minutes, whatever
Sure.
time we have left in our hand.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, I hope that matlab, you all had a good time matlab, looking at the inside or the looking at the backstage of how e-commerce industries are working and how do they price their product and how do they give such amazing product recommendations so that we can't stop ourselves from buying what we thought of KTK. Either we should or shouldn't buy. We ultimately go ahead and buy the products that we thought of. So yeah, really, like I was really amazed going through the session. I hope that all of you also had a similar experience. Now, let me quickly show you that what do we have to offer here at AlmaBetter. So Utsav is also like one of our instructors and mentors over here. He has been associated with us for quite some time. So we conduct whatever topic or classes we conduct on an everyday basis, the experience is quite similar to as you had in this session. So let me give you a quick peek on how do we do things over here. Just give me 1 second, I'll be sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible, everyone. Can I get a thumbs up or a yes over chat?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, cool. So this is like at AlmaBetter, we are focused towards building a community of students so that everyone who is associated with us feels counted, feels valued, and feels associated with AlmaBetter in terms that they do not face any difficulties while they are going through the entire learning process, because we are not here just for a sprint or a 2 to 3 months of dedication in our course, but we are here for quite a longer duration, like a boot camp where we are associated with the entire learning processes for about 6 to 8 months, and then finally you receive the outcome of spending those 6 to 8 months. So if realistically speaking, if you are to spend 6 to 8 months devoting in doing something, then you might find yourself more than ever losing motivation every once in a while. That matlab, how do you keep going until and unless you have company keeping you afloat? So that is the reason that we are a community first platform wherein we foster our students to study in groups. All of the projects that students does over here are in teams. So right after you enroll in our course, you are on the day of the orientation itself, you are supposed to form a group of 5 people, and those 5 people keep you going throughout your learning journey. And through this entire community first experience, you get ready for the jobs. Sorry, just a second. So the next topic, like why would anyone want to choose AlmaBetter? So the first and foremost thing that we offer over here is that the curriculum that we offer for our data science course or web development course, relevant to the topic on the data science course, is focused on the industry expertise. Industry expertise as in the curriculum that we have designed over here is in good consultation with our hiring partners. So as we go through the learning experience of a student and the student finally gets placed in one of the companies, we get regular feedback from the recruiters on how has the entire learning has been for the student. How has he been able to perform at the projects that the student picks after he is employed at a certain firm? So that is how we keep in check on the skill sets or the tools and techniques that we teach our students. It has to be very much industry relevant so that anything that you study over here does not go to waste. Everything is such that you can apply when you start working in a company. The next proposition that that captivates a student is that we conduct live classes at most places. When you see, people might or might not conduct live classes, but for the fundamental concepts, for almost all of the concepts, we have dedicated live classes on almost every day of the week, and you learn within a cohort and within the live classes, and you get the access to those live classes for lifetime on your dashboard as well. We go through 20 plus capstone projects. So 20 plus capstone projects would be there at your disposal. About 5 to 7 projects would be mandatory for you to complete in order to complete the course. But for for your experience, we have 20 plus capstone projects that you can go ahead with. And we have 1,000 plus coding problems and assessments at your disposal for strengthening your skill sets into getting a job in the relevant domain. There are weekly doubt resolution sessions and one-on-one mentorship sessions for you. If you are stuck at any place in your learning journey, you do not have to sit back and think that how do you get out of it or who is going to help you out. We have robust support system available over here for student support. And on top of it, we have weekly doubt resolution sessions and mentorship sessions that you can book as and when you need those. We go through 50 plus mock interviews, and we have dedicated career coach once you enter the placement drive for building your resume, for building your portfolio, and for getting your job in the relevant domain, domain that you are very interested in. I'll get to that part where I show you that we have we have made specializations in our course inside the data science course, so that you get a job in a domain, in a subdomain of data science which excites you the most. And the job guarantee that we offer over here is 100% guarantee. So once you enter the course, you do not have to worry about the outcomes. We are here to assure you for the same. So now coming to the path to success, as in how all of you who is here attending this masterclass, definitely all of you dream to getting a relevant job in the domain of data science, right? So all you need to do is that take a first step towards building a career in the data science domain and leave the outcomes to us. You just have to put in consistent efforts during or throughout the course, and the outcomes are definitely assured through a methodology that we have developed over here, through the robust curriculum that we offer to students over here. So the path to success is pretty sorted. Like, you sign up and you enroll in the course. You start off with your learning journey and get certified for the tests and everything that we conduct over here to assess you regularly in your learning journey. After that, once your assessments and everything is done, once your learning part is sorted, that now you are you have consumed all the knowledge that it is needed through the course that we are offering for becoming a data scientist. That is when we offer you to sign the income share agreement with us. That is how you pay us only after you get placed in the relevant domain. So you sign the income share agreement with us, and the course fee that you have paid initially, just a security deposit, that is refunded to you, and your placement is 100% guaranteed with us. And logically, you pay us only after you get the placement. So when the ISA signing part is done, you step into the AlmaX, that is our placement drive. And after stepping into the placement drive, like I was discussing before, that you get a dedicated career coach and you go through all of those mock interviews and resume building sessions. All of those things happen over here in AlmaX. And once your dedicated career coach or your mentor feels that now you are solid, now you're really prepared for appearing in real company interviews, that is when we start sharing your profiles with our hiring partners, and hence you land a job that we provide, that we promised our students. So I hope I'm making myself clear till here. Cool. So just a second. Yeah. So talking about the learning activities that we offer to our students over here, technical skills wise, we conduct live classes every week. There are about 4 to 5 live classes every week. There are lab experiments that would help you visualize the topic, that would help you practically see through every tough concept that you are going through. You can definitely come to the lab experiment playground. I'll be showing that as well on the dashboard. There are projects and assignments that you would be doing after every live lecture, so that you solidify your learning of whatever you went through in the live classes. And then there are group discussions. So group discussions are it is quite crucial to our program, because only through group discussions you will be able to grow yourself. Because even when you go ahead and join a company and you start working, until and unless you are good at networking, you are good at collaborating with people, your skill sets would not be that to use. You'll definitely have to learn the art of networking. So that is what we are trying to build in the in your entire experience right from the start. So this is for the technical training. For motivation and industry exposure, we conduct one-on-one mentorship sessions. There are guest lectures every week, like this event that you just attended. So we conduct the master classes like these every week, so that you get some industry exposure. You see industry guest coming and speaking about the relevant applications of data science in the out world. And then there is community participation that happens, the collaboration and the group sessions or group discussions that I was talking about. And then the last part is mandatory for Alma X, that is the capstone project and competency tests. So for all of the theoretical concepts that you go through competency tests and capstone projects, we see that how good or how much were you able to grasp the concepts that were taught to you. So only through tests we can actually assure you that, okay, you are good, you are rock solid in this concept, you are good to go ahead with the placements, and not just placements, but you are good to go with this module, and you can step ahead and get to the next module. So yeah, this is there for every module of learning that you go through. Now, the next part over here is, just a second, the hiring partners. So we have 500 plus hiring partners with us who would be giving you jobs once you complete the course and step in for Alma X. The salary distribution for AlmaBetter graduates. So although we give a minimum salary guarantee of 5 LPA to our students, if you see on an average, a student or a fresher, you might say, an AlmaBetter graduate gets a salary of about 8 to 9 LPA. So this is the most popular bracket that we have seen for our students. And if you have, if you are really good, doing good in interviews, look, the ultimate thing is that you will get job or you will get a salary basis how skilled you are. Okay, so if you are able to strengthen your profile, if you are able to deliver on the interview, then the interview day decides that how much package would you get home with. Okay, so that is how it goes. And definitely if you are solid on your resume, if you have spent really good time completing the course, then it is completely possible for you to come in this bracket as well, where you land a job of more than 10 LPA. So there's a good possibility that that can also happen to you. But on an average, about 37% of AlmaBetter students get a salary of about 8 to 9 LPA. That is about 40% students are in this bracket. Now, next is meet our instructors and mentors. So everyone who is who would be teaching you some concepts of data science over here at AlmaBetter is already an industry expert, is already working somewhere in an industry in the relevant domain, and will be coming and teaching you about the concepts that they are using in data science these days. So as Utsav over here, Utsav is also an industry professional and is an instructor over here. So likewise, we have a lot of such similar instructors who would be taking your regular classes on an everyday basis. So definitely that also becomes quite exciting, because if you are in college or if you are already a graduate, so you can completely relate to that if you had some industry exposure while you were back at college, or starting off with something else, then definitely this helps a lot, having some perspective of how do you apply this apply these concepts when you actually go out and work at a company, whatever concepts you're theoretically learning. Next up is success stories. So you can visit our YouTube channel or you can visit our LinkedIn channel as well. So to get an idea of the testimonials of the students who have already graduated from here. So you will see that a lot of students that we had, some of them were from technical background, from non-technical background. So you do not have to worry about the outcomes right before you start off with the program. It's completely fine to come from diverse backgrounds or have some years of gap in your resume, or have no idea of data science at all, it is completely fine. All that matters is that when do you decide to take a step ahead and get into preparing for whatever you're dreaming about, for if it is a job in data science. So if you take a step ahead, then definitely you will be able to start your a journey of 1,000 miles from there. So definitely all of these students that you see all on the wall over here believe that they can do it, they can transform their career in the domain of data science, and then eventually they were able to do it. And yeah, over here, I'll give you a small walkthrough of the dashboard that we have at AlmaBetter. Like the dashboard experience as in how would your dashboard look like once you enroll in one of our courses. Let me just quickly share that screen. So yeah, I hope my screen is visible. So this would be the dashboard once you enroll in our course. There is an upcoming batch on coming. There is a batch coming on Tuesday, that is cohort Monaco. So if you enroll in that course, this would be the first screen of your dashboard as it may come to you. So from here, you will start learning. And if you click on the start learning, you will get the entire exposure of the course that you will be going through. So first up would be program orientation. So program orientation will happen on the same day of batch commencement, that is coming Tuesday. So you will be going through the orientation session and you will get all the idea that you need to know about the program, means whatever things that we are going to cover in the program, what are the rules and regulations that you need to keep in mind, and everything like an entire walkthrough of how would next 6 months look like. You'll get a snapshot of that in the program orientation. Next up in the modules, module second, third, and fourth. So Python for data science, analytics framework, maths for data science. So these are really fundamental concepts that we teach to our students. Now, these concepts are critical to anyone who is willing to make their career in the domain of data science. You really need to know how to what Python is and how do you use Python. How do you code using SQL, or how do you run queries using SQL, Excel? So you need to know these concepts. Mathematics is really crucial for machine learning. So you get all of the important topics that are relevant in mathematics in this module, and then comes machine learning. So machine learning is also highly crucial to making a career in the domain of data science. So these are the 5 modules that you will be going through mandatorily, and these 5 modules are are relevant for any student that is willing to step into data science. And after the 5th module, we give you a specialization to pick. So either you go for business analysis or data engineering or advanced ML. So whatever up till by the time that you come to module 5, that is machine learning, you would have a good idea that what your core interest is. Where do you find yourself most excited? Like, do you find most excited about data engineering, or do you find yourself most excited about machine learning problems, or are you more curious about data on a business level? So you will have those answers by the time that you complete the machine learning module. If not, you can definitely talk to your mentor and you can explore with them that what specialization would be a complete fit for your profile, and accordingly you can choose a profile and go ahead with the program. So this is about the learning part. And for any topic that you pick, everything relevant to that particular topic is over here on the same window. Let me show this. So this is the read part. So you'll get the presentation of this particular topic, linear regression, whatever is relevant for you to go, whatever it is relevant for you to learn in this topic. Over here, you will have a video recording. Right now, it's not available since this is a dashboard for a person who has just enrolled in the course for an upcoming batch. So as and when you make progress, things will be populated on this dashboard. Like right now, I just enrolled and I jumped to this 5th module. So that is the reason that some things are empty, but as and when you make progress, everything will be populated on your dashboard. So for the topics where a lab experiment is available, you will get all of those inside this card itself. Like inside one topic card, you will get everything relevant to that particular topic inside the the topic card. So this is all about learning on your dashboard. The next up is the practice part. So over here, you can come and you can practice matlab, coding problems, coding assessments, and quiz assessments. So there are, what to say, hundreds of topics that you can go through. Matlab, okay, there are matlab, 50 problems that are available over here. As and when you solve, you will get more such problems populated on your dashboard. Next is the projects part. So like I was talking that you will get 20 plus projects on your dashboard. 20 plus projects would be available on your dashboard for you to go through. So all of the projects available in our course is over here and it is open for you. So once you enroll in the course, you will get to see all of these projects. For for students who are not yet enrolled, the projects might be long, but you can yet again see the project description. You can see like what this project is about, data files for this evaluation and everything. You will just not be able to submit the project, but if you have enrolled, you will be getting to submit the project as well for your evaluation. So yeah, you will learn about you will learn a lot more about this when you enroll and you attend the orientation session. So right now, since we have limited time available with this, so I'll quickly talk to you about a couple of more relevant things about your dashboard. So this just to mention that this dashboard might feel a little overwhelming once you enroll in the course, but give some time and explore every card that is on your dashboard, and it will become it will take some time to familiarize yourself with everything that this dashboard has to offer. But we have made multiple iterations, and the experience that we want to offer to our students, we are making sure that it's top notch and it's very relevant to you. Everything that is like placed on your dashboard, like a lot of minds have been put to it to curate this dashboard. That's all that I want to say. Next is the career track. So as and when you keep completing the lessons, you keep making progress in doing the practice assessments, projects, and from your learn tab, you will see that how far you are from getting selected for Alma X. So this is about that. And the last part over here is the mentorship. So before I was talking about that, you will be getting exposure to mentorship as well. So from the dashboard itself, you can come over here and you can book a mentorship session for yourself. On the menu bar over here, you have my performance card. So since I have just enrolled in the course, since I have enrolled for the course that is coming up on 28th of March, I cannot see I cannot see any scores or anything over here. But as soon as the cohort starts, you will see like your progress and your cohort's progress. Like you will be able to compare that where do you stand with respect to the cohort that you have enrolled in. So this will also give you a super push key. You need to go ahead and keep doing some progress in your course to finally land a job in the domain of data science. This is about that. And the most important thing is the community part. So we have our own community platform where we have about 20,000 learners with us. Give me 1 second, please. I'm really sorry for the interruption, guys. So yeah, I was talking about this community platform. So this community platform, like I'm using this on web app, but as soon as you enroll in the course, you can also download a mobile application for this app and you can start networking with people. So over here, like I have enrolled in cohort Monaco, so I can see my cohort and I can see what all students have enrolled in this cohort and I can network with them who are available on the community platform. And next up is there is still space where you can, we understand that learning can sometimes become quite thoda exhausting or overwhelming for you. So that is when you can talk to other people, get to know about their experience, how are they coping up with this overwhelming feeling, and stay calm and composed and go ahead with the course. So we have curated this platform keeping in mind how can we best provide the learning experience to our students. So this community platform again has to offer multiple things to you. You just need to see ki aapko kya, what do you need and where can you find it. One one thing that I find very amazing about this platform is that you can search for people who are near you or who are from relevant background or from your city, and you can network with them in person as well. Since AlmaBetter is completely hosted online, So like the entire learning to outcome journey will happen virtually. And if you feel the need to connect with people like outside and you need to connect with someone in person, you can definitely search for them from here and you can network with them. Let's suppose like I search for people who are from Delhi. So I can see that these many people I can get in search result who are from Delhi. Now, if I want to connect with people who are from Delhi and whose highest education is, let's suppose, graduation, so I'll choose this as graduation. Or if I want to see that if there is someone already available over here who is from my college, doesn't matter the year that they have graduated, they are from my college, so that I can feel associated with them. So I can do that as well. You can put in a keyword for your uh, college that you are from, and you might find some results if somebody is there from your college, or at least on these two levels, you can definitely filter out people. So this is just one of the things that community platform has to offer, just pointed out, but you can definitely make multiple utilizations of this platform. You will get to know in the orientation session. This is about that. And one more thing is about the support desk. So like I was talking earlier, that like there is a streamlined support platform, or like for any doubt or issue that you face throughout the course, you can always come to this AlmaBetter support platform from your dashboard, and you can raise tickets for your issues. But first, what you can do is that you can browse for the knowledge-based articles. So let's suppose if you have some doubts that might not be state of art new doubt, like what's the Almax eligibility criteria, or how to change cohort, or things like those. Like you can search for your doubts over here. If somebody has faced that doubt in the past, you'll get the answer to those doubts, that how do you resolve those doubts. But if you have a state of art new doubt, then you can always raise a tickets from here, submit a ticket, and the support team will definitely get back to you in as soon as possible, like in 24 hours. They'll definitely get in touch with you. So yeah, this is all that this AlmaBetter dashboard has to offer. I hope it was helpful, and yeah, you will have a good experience once you enroll with this. Like the entire AlmaBetter team is highly committed towards giving the best experience to our students so that they can transform their career in the domain of data science. Now, I think I just missed out on one last thing for this session, that since I mentioned that we have a cohort coming up this Tuesday, that is 28th of March. There is this early bird discount that we are running right now for the same cohort. That is a 35% discount, and the coupon code is ecom35. So when you sign up and go towards the checkout page, so you can apply this coupon code and get a 35% discount on your enrollment. Yes, let me show you quickly that how you can do that. Give me a second. So yeah, this is the checkout page, and once you go to the website from the home page or from the course page of the website, just go to the data science page, and when you click on this enroll now button, it will take you to the payment page, and from the payment page you can apply this coupon code ecom35, and you can get a discount of 35%, that is 10,500, and yeah, you can enroll at a lower price. So this discount coupon is valid till tomorrow, I believe, and you can enroll for the same. Or if you have any doubts or issues, you can definitely fill out the feedback form that has been shared over chat, and our team will try getting in touch with you as soon as possible. So I'll dedicate, like we are already past time for our event, so I'll just devote 5 to 10 more minutes in taking in the questions if you have any, for like any burning questions that you have related to the event or course. Like Utsav is here, I'm here, you can definitely ask any questions related to either the course or whatever was delivered. How can old code students access the specialization facility? It's not visible on the dashboard. Hi, Siddharth. I would urge you to raise a ticket about it, and the learning team will definitely get in touch with you on how can you opt for those. Please raise a ticket and this will be resolved. Which recorded class, the new one or old video recording? So for every live classes that you're going through, you will get the access to those on your dashboard. Okay, let me quickly show you where do we conduct our live classes. So at AlmaBetter, live classes are hosted on a platform named AirMeet. So on that platform, you will get the access to all of the live classes. So this is the homepage. Over here on the right hand side, you will see like a button for your live classes. So this is the AlmaBetter school space. And from here, you can click on this join live class, and this will take you to the AirMeet platform where we conduct our live classes. Okay, it will take a bit longer right now since there would be this sign up process. Just give me 1 second. Narendra, I would urge you to share the feedback form once again so that student can either give a feedback or they can request for a callback through our admissions team, and our team will get in touch with you like as soon as possible so that they can clarify all of your doubts related to either fee structure or what to say admissions processes in general. Yeah, do we have any more questions? Course duration and class timing. The course duration is 6 months as we talked about it, and class timing would be like we conduct live classes 4 days in a week, Monday to Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Saturday, so that this is a part-time course so that you can also have some time to yourself to revise the concepts and what to say, go through the content once again. So yeah, these 3 to 4 days we conduct the live classes. You will get a schedule ahead of time, and the timing of the live classes is 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day, or like whenever we are conducting the live classes. Yeah. What is the course fee? So the course fee is like we are based on a pay after placement model, wherein you have to pay only after you're getting the placement. The fee is 2,40,000, and there is a minimum security deposit that you need to pay in the beginning so that you like until and unless you make some investment for your career, you won't stay motivated to go through it, right? So you have to make a minimum security deposit that is refundable once you sign up for the placement drive, and that amount, like I showed, that if you avail a discount of 35%, it would come down to about 19,000 rupees. Yes, Alok, I hope that helped. Ma'am, what if we don't get a job even after the course completion? How many techs are running the same thing? So Animesh, you definitely, like, we are highly focused on the learning outcomes of these students. So I'm not sure like if what to say, if this is a criteria where you are not able to get a job, we definitely will be like, if you are completing the course, it's upon us to get your job. You do not have to worry about it. So I would say that matlab, that is your answer, and you can connect with our admissions team to better assess your profile and give you a personalized feedback on how can this course matlab, help you get a job. But definitely if you are a dedicated person, you can, like, it's not a tough deal to get a job. We have been able to place more than 600 students in the domain, and it would be no surprise for placing like more 600 of those. Okay, how long is the early bird offer valid? The offer is valid till tomorrow noon, I believe. Okay, so Pinto, we do not like promise jobs in a particular firm or so. We will offer you a placement in what is it, in a company that would utilize your relevant skill set, but we cannot promise you the name of the company that you will be getting a job in this particular company. It depends on whatsoever companies are hiring by the time that you graduate. So for all of those companies that would be hiring by the time you graduate, you will get a chance to apply for all of those companies, and we will see that where are you able to crack your interviews. It's basis that. Uh, yes, Shiva, there must be batches coming after 28th of March, but you can definitely like talk to our admissions team for getting a better idea on the same. Utsav, do you see any other question relevant, any other technical question relevant, or we can wrap up this session? We are already like past the meeting time.
Not really. Yeah, people are saying it's informative, interesting. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, guys,
Thank
for
you, guys.
then I think that would be all.
Yeah,
For
so just to say, one thing that I wanted to tell everybody, a lot of you are saying is a non-tech. Yeah. If you guys believe that you have धंधा समझ में आता है, business understanding है, थोड़ा बहुत ये how does the business operates. I think this field should be most of things. If you understand the era of ChatGPT, everything is automated. The AI, the roles of AI is a lot more business inclined than a tech inclined. You might need a learning curve on learning just Python, make some changes, but you don't need a very high funda programming skills or very high funda maths overall. You just need to understand the business intuitions and business hypothesis better. And that is the problem solving is the key competency I want you to think about for applying this case. If you have problem solving ability, analytical ability, you will prosper. It shouldn't be a problem.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, with data, like you just have to have some business sense, and definitely it's like it's always possible to learn that if you don't already have that. And all of us would be sorted, I believe. So thank you all for turning up for this event. Thank you so much, Utsav, for such a wonderful session. It was really insightful and it was highly illuminating to see how AI is working in the e-commerce industry. And thank you so much. And if you have today we skipped on the quiz part, and we have Narendra has decided on the winners through the participation in the chat. So we will be giving out vouchers within 2 days of this event. So yeah, hang on to that. You'll receive it via your email. And that's all that I had to say for this masterclass. I hope you had a great time, and we will be conducting such masterclasses every week, every Saturday. So you can always tune in and you can attend a masterclass coming up. And for any other questions that has remained non-answered, you can always reach out to us on admissions@almabetter.com, or you can fill out the feedback form that Narendra has shared on the chat, and our team will reach out to you at the earliest. Or you can give us a call on AlmaBetter. There is a number available on the bottom of the website. So yeah, there are multiple ways that you can reach out to us, and we would be happy to help you out. So yeah, that is all for this session. Thank you everyone for turning up. Yeah, so yes, okay, bye everyone, have a great weekend ahead, and see you on the other side at AlmaBetter.